Hello and welcome to Codeup Developer Day for our Fortuna cohort. My name is Dimitri and I'm the Vice President of Delivery with Codeup, which means it's my job to make sure every student has a happy and successful journey all the way through the program. Codeup is a 20-week career accelerator. We train software developers and data scientists and place them at companies throughout Texas. All of our programs are fast-paced, immersive, full-time, hands-on, and project-based. And what you'll be seeing today are the final presentations of our student capstone projects, which have spent the last 3 weeks of the program building. Today we have 7 amazing presentations for you, and to get us started, I'm going to pass the duck over to our Manager of Employer Partnerships. Hope you enjoy.
Thank you, Dimitri. Over the first 17 weeks of the program, our Codeup students study full-stack web development, learning HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and jQuery on the front end, and Java, Spring, and MySQL on the back end. Over the final 3 weeks of the program, they transition into full-time web developers working in groups of 3 to 4 to design, build, and deploy full-stack applications. Today, you're going to see a demonstration of these full-stack applications, showcasing the real and live features of their websites. As we kick off the first group, take a look how they integrated the skills that they've learned here at Codeup and some they picked up along the way. Up first, to close up their Codeup journey, is Team TechTrek.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Caleb Dworsky. My partners are Brian Purnell and Danielle Tobler, and together we have created TechTrek. TechTrek is our capstone project that attempts to solve 2 issues. 1, improve the job search process for current Codeup students, and 2, improve the resume revision workflow for Codeup members of placement. Now, this project came about after we identified a pain point with current Codeup students. During the job search process, there's a lot of information in a lot of different places, and it's really easy to lose track of where you are and what needs to be done next. We reached out to members of Codeup's placement team and realized they had the same pain point. TechTrek tackles both of those pain points for both parties by doing the following. For students, we have resume assistance. The student can upload their resume and then download resume revisions after placement has reviewed them. They can view industry-related job listings and apply to those. They can also view relevant event listings and RSVP to those. Now, as we dive deeper into the site, I'm going to turn this over to Danielle.
Thank you, Caleb. My name is Danielle Tobler, and I worked on the database design, user reviews, and general CRUD functionality of TechTrek. Today, I'm going to be taking you through the experience as a student user of the site. New users are able to register on the site with their name, username, email, cohort, and password, and will also receive an email verification upon registration. For the sake of time, I'm going to log into my account, which has all my information already input. When I log in, I'm greeted with a dashboard which shows some recent job listings and upcoming events. Clicking on my photo on the sidebar will direct me to my profile page where I can view my name, status as a student, cohort and cohort information, employment availability, and some information about myself, including a summary, my desired work locations, contact information, links to other media, and some skills that I've selected. I can also view my GitHub commit history chart, which is a real-time screenshot mirroring my activity on GitHub. Moving over to the Edit tab, I can upload a profile photo and can add or edit any of the information seen on the previous tab. My Documents tab displays a list of any resumes I've uploaded on this profile. Moving on to the Jobs Listings Index, I can view all listings for junior developer positions populated by the placement team. Each listing includes a title, company logo, and location, as well as remote availability information. Clicking on a listing will take us to the individual view, where we can see a more detailed description of the listing, as well as a link to externally apply. Selecting events on the sidebar will give students a similar experience, listing upcoming event information including a banner image, event title, date, time, and location. Selecting an individual event will display a more detailed description and a link to RSVP. Moving on to the resume portal, we'll see a table of uploaded resumes as well as buttons to either upload a T-block or vertical resume. We can see some resume builder tips with a collapsible section detailing the expectations on each portion of the resume. I'm going to demonstrate uploading a T-block resume at this time. Clicking the T-block button will prompt a modal to pop up instructing me to upload a file. We were able to do this by integrating FileStack, a third-party cloud-based file uploading and storage application. Once my resume is successfully uploaded, my table will dynamically update to show the option to view my uploaded file, file name, resume type, and placement review status. This concludes the student experience of TechTrek. I'm now going to pass this off to Brian to demonstrate the admin functionality of the site.
Thank you, Danielle. My name is Brian Purnell, and I worked on the database design, administrator functionality, and the deployment of TechTrek. I'm going to log in as an administrator to illustrate the differences between logging in as a user and a placement team member. On the placement team member's dashboard, the user data table is at the top of the screen. This table allows the placement team to search through users through all the data that is on the table. You can also edit user accounts. The options available are to enable or disable accounts, edit user status, and to change the user's cohort. Now let's look at the administrator options for job listings. The placement team can browse through all of the jobs just like the users, but they also have the additional option to create a job listing and also to create companies. On this page, they also have the option to delete companies. On the resume section, the placement team can go through all of the resumes that have been uploaded. Here's the resume that was just uploaded by Danielle. Now that there's been revisions done on her resume, let's upload those revisions. After the file's been uploaded, it sends an email to Danielle to inform her that her resume was revised. Now I'm going to kick it back over to Caleb to finish it up.
Thank you, Brian. So we're going to log back in as Danielle and take a look at what the resume tab looks like after placement has reviewed the resume. As we can see, we no longer have the delete functionality on the side, and this is to prevent the student from accidentally deleting the revision or any notes attached to it. We have a couple new icons here. We can see that underneath the revision and notes, we have an icon. If we click on the revision icon, we can actually pull up the PDF of the revised changes. The student can look at that, download it, implement the changes into their current resume, and then start the whole process over again where they revise their resume and shoot it off to placement. If placement has any notes, they would go here, and we can implement those changes very easily and very quickly into our resume just to speed up that whole process. And that's what TechTrek is all about, speeding up the process of the job search, the application process for current Codeup students, and to make communication between members of placement and the student very quick and painless. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank everybody for joining us here today. If anybody has any questions about the project or anything other, they can reach out to any one of the developers, myself, Caleb Dworsky, or my partners, Danielle Tobler or Brian Purnell. At the links on our About Us page, just click on the one with the Codeup sign. Thank you for your time.
Not all curricula are created equal. In our research and work, we've seen boot camps that teach 20+ technologies and degrees that only teach C++. At Codeup, we reverse engineer our curriculum to meet the needs of our hiring managers. By focusing on the enterprise level stack with Java, we're able to prioritize the depth of knowledge over breadth and instill best practices of debugging, learning new technologies, and problem solving. See what the curriculum can produce in this next group. Our next developers will take you back to the good old days. Here's Team Progeny.
Hello everyone, my name is Mitchell Sandage, my partners are Tara McKenzie and Johnny Delgado, and this is Progeny. Now although you might not remember much from your childhood, one thing that you can never forget is crawling into bed and drifting to sleep as your parents read you your favorite bedtime story. Now I know every parent and grandparent would love to be there for the children and read them their favorite stories every night. However, whether it be work, the military, or the recent coronavirus pandemic, it can feel almost impossible to spend that valuable time with your children. So we created this site to help solve this problem. Progeny gives distant family members an easy way to create and share bedtime stories from anywhere in the world. Now this is our landing page, and I'm going to log in to a pre-registered user to demonstrate other functionality. Our website uses Spring Security and password hashing to create secure users that save directly to our database that I helped design. Now I'm going to pass it on to Johnny. Johnny?
Thank you, Mitchell. My name is Johnny Delgado, and this is my Progeny profile page. Once in my profile page, I can view a list of all my recordings, as well as my friends' recordings, and also view a list of all my friends. Also on my profile page, I can add a new recording onto my page by clicking the Add Recording button. Once I click it, it takes me to this Progeny library where I can view a list of all our stories. One of my major contributions was creating the stories and uploading them onto our page using pub HTML5 and embedding the stories in iframes. Today I will be reading from Mother Goose. Once here, I can read a brief summary of the story as well as read through it to see if I like it. Once I decide to read the story and record it, I can go to the Create Recording for this book button. Once that button is clicked, it takes me here to this page where I can now read through the story as I record. Once I get to the correct page, I can begin my recording process and begin the recording by clicking the record button. Little Jack Horner sat in the corner eating of Christmas pie. He put in his thumb and pulled out a plum and said, "What a good boy am I." Once I'm done recording, I can push the playback button to listen to it. Little Jack Horner sat in the corner eating of Christmas pie. He put in his thumb and pulled out a plum and said, "What a good boy am I." Once I'm satisfied with the recording, I'll download it and then navigate to the upload page. Here, I can give it a title. I'll title it A New Progeny Story. And I can upload it using our FileStack API to retrieve the recording from our local storage. Once uploaded, I'm going to go and save the recording, and that will navigate me back to my profile page, where, as you can see, my story is now here for my friends and family to listen to. Another contribution I made to this site was the admin role, which Taryn McKenzie will now demonstrate. Take it away, Taryn.
Thank you, Johnny. Hello, everyone. My name is Taryn McKenzie, and I helped design the user interface for the Progeny website. This included using Bootstrap, CSS, and a little bit of custom illustration for the homepage. I also helped develop the Add Friends feature for the website, but for right now, I'm going to demonstrate the admin role that Johnny created. I have already logged into my admin profile. As you can see in the nav bar, we have a drop-down. We're able to edit users and also create stories. These are the stories that you see in the Progeny library. Another feature that I would like to share with you is the Add Friends feature. Here I can view a list of my friends. If I click Edit Friends, I'm able to view a list of my friends, but I can also delete them. Let's go ahead and search for Johnny. Here's Johnny. Let's add him. Johnny is now our friend. If I navigate back to my profile page, I can see that Johnny is in my friends list, and I can also listen to the stories that he has created. Let's listen to one.
Little Jack Horner sat in a corner eating of Christmas pie. He put in his thumb and pulled out a...
All right, we got his recording. This concludes our presentation. Again, my name is Taryn McKenzie, and together with Johnny Delgado and Mitchell Sandage, we created Progeny, a site that connects users through story time. If you would like to get a hold of us, our links to the Codeup alumni portal, our LinkedIn account and GitHub account are on our About page. Thank you.
While capstones are the course culmination of the program, our developers have been learning project-based learning since the beginning. Through pair programming, group challenges, and individual coding challenges, they develop a robust portfolio on their GitHub profiles. That means that on day one of the job, our developers have spent hundreds of hours coding and not just learning how to. Keep that in mind as you hear from Team Optico codes. Their name may be Greek, but their code translates all other languages. Welcome, Team Optico codes.
Hello world, my name is Sinisa Terzic and my incredible teammates are James Spicer and Carlos Steller. And together we are Optico codes. That particular term derives from the Greek word meaning visuals. In today's society, we have a plethora of developers that sometimes find it difficult to tread through long and strenuous YouTube videos to find a particular solution to a very specific programming or syntax related question. In a similar fashion, it is sometimes difficult and a bit rough to try and debug somebody's commentary on a site such as Stack Overflow. Well, that's where Optico Codes comes in.
We created Optico Codes to enable personalized visual solutions to programming questions. We do this by allowing users to post code-formatted questions and receive catered video responses, all while allowing experienced coders to practice their presentation and public speaking skills. My particular contributions to the site were the Spring models, repositories, GSAP library, and front-end components. Once we enter the site, we arrive at the index page. Now, wanting to learn how to use the site, I scan around for instructions and aha, I do see a how-to page. Let's check it out. Within the how-to page, I begin to notice instructions on steps to take to become a user and engage with the website. I learn I must create a user profile and log into said profile before I can create questions via posts, responses via videos, and comments on responses. Now, before creating an account to do all these things, I want to quickly draw your attention to our search bar on our index page, as it can be used by anybody on the site, not just users. So for example, we have a FizzBuzz related post. So if I search by Fizz, it will prompt the correct post. We enabled search functionality on our search bar to find by title, body, and the tags incorporated on posts. Now, to contribute further to the site, as I previously read, I recalled that I do need to make an account, so I will go to sign up. And for demonstration purposes and your valuable time, we've already created an existing user. And now to continue our user story, I will pass the presentation to my teammate, James Spicer. All you, James.
Thank you, Cindy. Hello, my name is James Spicer. I worked on the database design, the file stack API, user CRUD functionality, and the search functionality for this project. Now, once a user registers, they will be redirected to our login page where they can go ahead and log into their account. Once they log into their account, they will see a list of all the previous posts they have made and see the Ask a Question button and Edit Profile button. If the user wanted to edit anything on their profile, they could go ahead and edit the username, the email, password, first and last name. The user could also delete their account. If they click on the Delete Account button, a confirmation box will appear to confirm that they do want to delete their account. Now, when a user is ready, they can go over and click on Ask a Question. Here, they can add a title to their post, and they could format their description however they want to with our WYSIWYG feature. They could even use a code block. Finally, the user could add up to 5 separate custom tags to help specify exactly what they're looking for. Once a user submits their post, it'll be the first one to pop up. The user can then go ahead and click on their post. Here, the user could edit their post, which includes editing the title, description, and tags. And if the user decided to delete their post, they could click on the Delete Post button right here, and a confirmation box will pop up to confirm that they want to delete their post. From this point forward, I want to pass the presentation off to my fellow colleague, Carlos Teller.
Thank you, James. Hi, my name's Carlos Teller, and I primarily worked on the CRUD functionality for posts, video responses, and comments. Users must have an account and be logged in order to add video responses and comments within a post. I will now demonstrate the process of adding a video response. Looking through the list of posts, I see there's someone who has a FizzBuzz question, and I think I can help them. To add my response, I click on the Add a Video Response button, and here I see I have a couple of options. I can copy and paste the embed code from my favorite video sharing site, or upload a file via the File Stack API. Additionally, utilizing the Media Devices API, we can use the built-in screen recorder to capture our screen, record our solution, and once we are done, download the file and upload that file via the File Stack API. Once this file has been uploaded, submit the video response, and we can see that our response has been uploaded. You can edit or delete the response by clicking the Edit or Delete buttons. Optionally, comments can be added to video responses for further clarification or to let someone know the response was helpful. For more information about the Optical Codes development team, please visit the About Us page. And if you need help finding the answer to the question, who should I hire next, your solution may just be the guys from Optical Codes. Thank you.
We all know that despite popular stereotypes, development doesn't happen in a dark room by yourself. Recognizing that collaboration is a key workplace skill, we also train our developers with teamwork and interpersonal skills throughout the program. Live instruction means working with instructors, other developers, alumni, and some of our student fellows that represent a wide range of experience levels. Moreover, an emphasis on pair programming and group projects prepares our devs to not only be developers, but to work in teams. Watch how this next team passes the baton amongst themselves. These developers are no joke. Welcome, Team Mean Tees.
Welcome everyone. Thank you for taking the time to be here today. I will begin by introducing our team. Ruben Trevino, Michael Greenberg, Jeremy Tillard, and myself, Victor Jaimes. We are Meme Tees. Meme Tees is a way for the public to express themselves in an extremely unique manner. Setting the standard for meme-based clothing, we will offer our customers the highest quality products while ensuring their browsing and shopping experience are both excellent and secure.
Thank you, Victor. Hello, my name is Ruben. Welcome, everybody. My contributions to the site were product management, search functionality, designs for products, styling using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and Bootstrap. I will begin by walking you through our landing page. A carousel quickly grabs our user's attention. By clicking on his side buttons, the user can navigate through the different available slides, displaying what is new, trending, or on sale. Now, we will move on to our display cards. Each card displays a product name, price, and image. If we keep scrolling down, we will reach our product categories, which when clicked, will navigate that user to the specific category. Now, I'll demonstrate a quick search. Perfect. Now, we'll head back over to the home page. At this point, I'll hand the floor over to Victor so that he may go over the registration and collection page.
Let's begin by logging in. Thanks to Spring Boot Security, we have implemented input restrictions for both the login and registration page. We will go ahead and input our credentials. Once we click login, we will be automatically redirected to the landing page. I will go ahead and demonstrate the collection page. At the collection page, the user has the option to cycle between t-shirts, hats, and pullovers in order to access all of our products. At this point, I will pass the floor over to Michael, and he will demonstrate how the users will be interacting with our products.
Thank you, Victor. My name is Michael Greenberg. My contributions to the site were aiding with user authentication using Spring Security, implementing our dynamic web pages using Timely, styling multiple pages using CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript, and HTML. Once we find a product we like, we can find out more information about it by clicking on it. Doing this takes us to the individual product page. Here we're allowed to select the color, the size, and the quantity of the product that we want before adding it to the cart. Once at the cart, we are provided with the item name, the type of product we're buying, the color, the size, the quantity, the individual price, as well as the subtotal, our shipping costs, and our grand total. At this point, I will pass the presentation on to Jeremy so that he may go over the transaction process. Jeremy?
Hello, my name is Jeremy Tillard. My contributions to the site include creating and maintaining a database using MySQL, configuring the site for live deployment using DigitalOcean, styling several pages using HTML, Bootstrap, CSS, and JavaScript, and creating our transaction process, integrating the Stripe API.
Once the user hits Start Checkout, they'll be asked to put in billing and shipping information. However, if their billing information and shipping information are the same, they can tell us that by hitting the checkbox at the top of the screen. Hitting Continue to Checkout, they'll be asked to verify their details, including the items they were going to purchase, as well as the addresses they entered previously. Hitting Enter Payment Information will ask for their credit card details, which is where the Stripe API really shines. Once they enter their credit card number and hit Pay with Card, a message will be sent to the Stripe server, and in turn, a response will be sent as far as the status and verification of the payment, which we will tell the user if it was successful or not, which it was. If you would like to learn more about our team, visit our About Us page. That concludes our presentation. Thank you for your time.
The projects you see here weren't built overnight. They require foresight and planning. What's going to be the core functionality of the application? How's the database going to be set up? Who's going to work on what? And when is it going to be due? We begin to work on these answers as our students go through the modules of project planning and web design. Just like a real work environment, our developers leverage the Agile methodology and other project management tools like GitHub projects to bring their application to life. Take a look at how this group has divided up the work and managed task completion. Up next, we have a group of hungry developers. Here's Team Chowhound.
Hello everybody, my name is Jeff Walton, and on behalf of my teammates Bryce Payne, Austin Gray, and Joshua Marchand, welcome to the demonstration of our capstone project, Chowhound, the food truck locator and database.
The next time you'd like to eat at a food truck, navigate over to chowhound.rocks and see what's being offered in your area. For this project, I focused on front-end design using HTML, CSS, in the Bootstrap library. Once registered as a member of our pack, you'll have access to all the features Chowhound has to offer. To highlight the first of these is my colleague, Joshua Marchand.
Thanks, Jeff. My name is Joshua Marchand, and I focused heavily on the integration of our map functionality with our backend database. Wouldn't it be nice to see all food trucks near you at a glance? At Chowhound.rocks, the first thing you'll see is just that. Using the Google Maps API, when a truck owner submits their truck's current location, a corresponding marker will be added to the map. As a user, you'll be prompted to grant Chowhound permission to use your location, and by allowing this, you'll see all food trucks near you as represented by the Chowhound logo. You can also zoom out to see all trucks in your city and beyond. By clicking a marker, we can see some details about that truck, including its name and a brief description. So being vegan, I probably don't want to eat at Jeff's Steak Station, so I'll keep looking. And it's my lucky day because there happens to be a vegan food truck right down the street, so why don't I click the link to take a closer look. From here we can see a detailed truck page complete with information left by Chowhound pack members. To further demonstrate this and other features, here's my colleague, Austin Gray.
Thank you, Josh. Hi, my name is Austin Gray. Today I'm going to walk you through some of the features that I worked on for our project, including using the FileStack API to upload an image to our site, each truck's image handling, and the truck's information. Once you've hit the Save button, your photo will show up on our website immediately. We have the option to let a user leave a review by clicking the Barker Review button. Clicking this will allow a user to leave a review up to 255 characters long, give it a rating of 1 through 5 bones to share their experiences with others. Additionally, being registered allows users to mark a truck as their favorite. On the index page, we provide truck details as well as images uploaded by both the truck owners and users, so you can easily scroll through the photos to see what each truck has to offer. If no images have been uploaded for a truck, we provide it with a placeholder image until one has been. A Chow Options tab is shown in the form of a drop-down if you want to see the different types of food that each truck has to offer. Here at the bottom, we have a contact button if you want to see the truck's contact information. Clicking the contact button will provide you with the truck's address, hours, phone number, and social media if they have provided links to their pages. I'll let my teammate Bryce take it from here to demonstrate additional functionality we provide here at Chowhound.
Thanks, Austin. For my contribution, I focused heavily on the deployment of the application, the MySQL database structure, and the backend design using a Spring Boot framework in Java. As a big fan of food trucks, I thought about what features I would want from a food truck finder. With that in mind, and as Austin demonstrated earlier, another feature integrated into this app is the ability to add and remove favorites. Utilizing this logic allows a user to not only favorite trucks, but to easily identify which trucks are on their list using our custom fire hydrant icon. Also, by navigating to the My Trucks tab, you can see all the trucks that are on your list. Sort services allow visitors to arrange trucks by rating, name, or date updated. Another useful tool we developed for Chowhound is the ability to find trucks by keywords. These keywords will target the name, location, or chow options. Today, I'm feeling like tacos. And what do you know? I'm in luck. Finally, since we are constantly on the go, we know that our patrons need the ability to use our app when mobile. With that in mind, we invite you to check this feature out on your own smart devices. On the mobile version of the app, you can click the address link and be taken straight to the Google Maps application for simple navigation services. Now, I would like to hand the presentation back to my colleague, Jeff Walton.
Thank you, Bryce. We at the Chowhound development team feel that the integration of these technologies will offer a streamlined approach for anyone interested in searching out food trucks and leaving reviews of their experience. If you're looking for hungry developers, click the About Us link at the footer of the index page and make these Codehounds members of your pack. I'm Jeff Walton, and on behalf of my fellow Chowhound developers, Bryce Payne, Austin Gray, and Joshua Marchand, thank you for your consideration. Stay hungry.
Ask any developer in the room. Knowing how to code doesn't make you a professional software developer. Our program leverages parallel curriculum in software development and professional development. Our placement team works with our students to develop a professional portfolio and prep them for life after graduation. We conduct mock interviews, craft career strategies, and provide individual coaching. By the time they walk into a room with you, not only do they know what to expect, but what's expected of them. This gives our developers a much better experience, as well as your hiring managers. Imagine being in an interview room with these next developers. With that said, let's welcome the next developers looking to set roots on your team. Let's welcome Team Cedar.
Hola, and welcome to Garden Cedar, where you can reap what you sow and eat what you grow. Garden Cedar was developed during the COVID-19 pandemic, when my teammate, Jasmine, decided she wanted to start her own garden, but didn't really know where to begin. Our desktop application allows new stay-at-home gardeners to start planting, growing, and harvesting their own food. These stages can be seen here in these images brought to you by my teammate, Kate. My name is Jacqueline Woodayas, and my teammates are Andy Ball, Jasmine Rivera, and Kate McKinney. My contributions include the integration of the Open Weather API using a server-side API call, as well as the integration for the Open Farm API, which utilizes a client-side API call for the catalog information.
As a new user, I can create an account by filling out the registration form here. But for the sake of this demonstration, we will use an already registered account. Now we are in the user's dashboard page. Here we can see the current weather conditions in the user city. This is done using a server-side API call with the zip code that the user put in upon registration. If it is above 90 degrees outside, a full thermometer icon appears next to the current temperature. If it is below 40 degrees, an empty thermometer appears. In addition, because our target audience is mainly new gardeners, we have designed the dashboard to display a quick gardening tip every time the user visits the page. And now, Andy will walk us through some other features.
Thanks, Jackie. My name is Andrew Ball, and my contribution was the login and security for the site, as well as the structure of the garden grid. Since we aren't in Anchorage, Alaska, we'll go ahead and edit the profile page. First, users are shown all of their profile information, but once they click the edit button, they're brought to the edit profile page. I'll go ahead and change this user's zip code to one from San Antonio. Now the weather is accurate for San Antonio. Making adjustments is just that easy. To give users a place to get planting ideas, we've made a catalog page. The catalog contains a selection of the plants best suited for growing in Texas, which are available for the user to browse on this page created by Jackie. This page is viewable to both users and visitors. Bell peppers sound delicious. Let's plant those. Jasmine will show us how.
Thanks, Andy. Hi, I'm Jasmine Rivera, and my main contribution to Garden Cedar was our garden planning feature, which utilizes the Open Farm API. From their dashboard page, users have the option to create a new garden. I'll go ahead and name mine Peppers. Each garden contains a grid with 32 fresh plots designed by my teammate Andy. When a user selects an empty plot, they're presented with a search function that they can use to browse through Garden Cedar's database of available crops. When a crop is selected, an Open Farm API call is made, and the user is returned with important data that they can use to plan their garden, such as sunlight requirements and row spacing. For instance, this green bell pepper requires full sunlight, so I'll make sure to plant it in the sunniest part of my garden. Let's go ahead and take a look at a more established garden. As you can see, this user has multiple gardens. Each user can have as many as they like. The icons below the garden name represent each type of crop that live within that garden. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at the Salsa Garden, and Kate will tell us more about it now.
Thanks, Jasmine. Hi, my name is Kate, and my contributions were mainly to the back-end functionality of the project and to the individual plant page, which I will show you now. To reach this page, users click on one of the adorable animated images brought to you by Jasmine that represents their plant. They are then presented with a modal containing the planting information from before, as well as a link to the page on the bottom. Once they reach the page, users are given important information about the plant, such as which garden it came from, which square it belongs to, when it was planted, when it was last watered, and how old it is. They are also given a notes section to keep track of important or interesting happenings. In addition, they can water the plant, which resets the last water date to the current day, Or they can uproot it all together if it's died or if it's time to harvest it. In addition to uprooting each plant, users are able to delete any of their gardens at any time. And that concludes our presentation of Garden Seeder. If you are looking to grow your development team, look no further than our About Us page, where you can meet the team that dreamed this up and brought it to life. Thank you and happy gardening.
Before we bring out our last team, we would like to thank our capstone instructional team, made up of Trant, Vivian, and Casey. Over the last 3 weeks, they have emulated the roles as lead developers to guide our students to their own answers and through the development lifecycle. Moreover, we would like to thank the entire instructional staff that has worked with this team to get them to where you see them today. Finally, here are some developers who really have their code in a row. Here's Team Quacker Tracker.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for your time today. My name is Guillermo De Leon, and along with my fellow software developers, Ted Samaron, James Muralles, and Anthony San Miguel, we are excited to talk to you today about our web application, Quacker Tracker. My contribution to Quacker Tracker is some of the front-end web development, and I also assisted with the implementation of Google Charts.
Quacker Tracker is a personal finance application. It helps you to keep track of your monthly bills. You can also keep track of your daily spending. And you can set up personal finance goals, such as how much money you want to save towards the purchase of a new home. Quacker Tracker is a full-stack web application, and it utilizes the Java Spring Boot framework. We also implemented the use of Google Charts. Now, let's get to the fun part, and let's log into Quacker Tracker. We're going to go ahead and log in using Ted's username and password. Don't tell him that I know that, okay? Now, as soon as you log in, you are greeted with the user's profile page. On the right-hand side, you can see the pie chart where if you hover over it, it gives you a breakdown of your expenditures by percent. If you go over to the left-hand side, you can see all your upcoming bills. You can also see all your overdue bills, and as you can see, Ted does need to get his Disney Plus paid off real soon. He's a little behind on that. You can also see the goal tracker, and you know, we talked about this. We are planning to take a South Padre Island trip here when this whole thing is over, but it looks like he's still a couple of $100s short, so hopefully we get there shortly. On the left-hand side, if you click on the Edit Profile button, it's going to take you to the Edit Profile page where the user can update their personal profile information, and they can also update their own password. Now at this point, I'm going to hand this over to James Muralles so that he can talk about his contributions to Quacker Tracker.
Thank you, Guillermo. Hello, I'm James Muralles, and my contributions to this project were on the backend utilizing Java and MySQL to render transactions, as well as helping implement Google Charts. Now let me guide you ducks through these transactions. Upon landing on the transactions page, you'll see that there's a pie chart that shows you your income versus your expenses. If you scroll down, you'll see a table with already rendered transactions. You'll see that the amounts highlighted in red are outgoing, and the amounts highlighted in green are income. Now, let's waddle on down to this transactions button and add a transaction. Upon clicking it, you can add a name for the transaction, a transaction amount, which I'm going to make for $400. And you can click check, and this will determine that it is income. You can also select a category and select income. Add the transaction, and you'll see that your chart dynamically updates. Your table will also have a updated transaction with the check at the very top. Oh wait, I actually got a bonus for $450, so let me edit that. Click on the edit, change it, mark it as income, and set the income category. Save the change, and you'll see that the chart updates again, as well as the top transaction. You can also delete a transaction if you choose to. This concludes the transactions portion. Now, it's time for Mama Duck, Ted Zamaron.
Thank you, James. My name is Ted Zamaron, and my contributions to the project were backend functionality, database design, server integration, and project management. I'm going to be walking you through the bills page because we all know you You can't have a duck without a bill, and you can't have a good financial tracker without some bill tracking. So let's go ahead and head over there.
On your bills page, all your bills are displayed in a simple, easy to read table format. This table can be sorted alphabetically, chronologically, by dollar amount, and by pay status. You also have the ability to edit and delete each of the bills. Let's go ahead and add a bill. For time's sake, I've already preloaded all my car payment information, so let's go ahead and add it. Our car payment not only shows up on our table, but if we also go to our profile page, you can see it is now being tracked on our upcoming bills. Let's take care of this Disney Plus overdue bill. Don't need anyone finding out I didn't pay for it. Once I click the Pay Bill button, a modal does pop up showing the minimum amount. We can go ahead and change this amount, but I'm going to go ahead and pay the full amount. Once I confirm the payment, we do see that the amount paid shows up in the last amount paid column, and the Pay button is no longer there. Instead, we do see a Reset button, which allows me to go ahead and select a new due date, resetting the pay status. In addition to these changes, in the Transactions page, we do see that the payment is showing as our most recent transaction, and on the profile page, it is no longer being tracked. This concludes the bills, and I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to the last of the ducks, Anthony.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Anthony San Miguel, and my contributions to Quacker Tracker included assisting with back-end development, as well as utilizing Bootstrap to design a site that is both consistent and intuitive for its users. Now, let's take a look at our budget page.
We're immediately greeted by our state-of-the-art, patent-pending Quackulator. This machine automatically totals your income and deducts your expenditures here on the left and shows your remaining balance on the right. For more precision, we can adjust the inputs manually, then click the pulsing red power button to quackulate. Not only does this machine come to life, but we see our remaining balance dynamically updated. Now that we've seen how much funds we have remaining, let's allocate those. Scrolling down, we see a goals section. Currently, we are tracking our South Padre Island vacation in the amount of $500. Let's add another. Let's save up for an Apple Watch Series 5 in the amount of $450. By creating a goal, we see our newly designated goal and amount listed below with its own progress bar. We can add funds, edit the goal name or amount, or delete the goal as necessary. Let's add funds. By adding funds towards our goal, we see that the amount contributed is deducted from our remaining balance and that our progress bar is updated dynamically. In addition, if we go to our profile page, we see that any current goals and added goals are added and tracked on our summary profile. Lastly, in our transactions page, any contributions made towards goals will show up as an expenditure line on our table with the category of budget goal. And now, I would like to pass it back to Guillermo.
Thank you, Anthony. Well, this concludes our presentation for today.
And that rounds out our capstone presentations. Thank you all for tuning in. Fortuna, we're all incredibly proud of you and everything that you've accomplished in the last 20 weeks, and you should be too. Congratulations on a great developer day. For our friends, families, and supporters that have come along for the ride, please stick around for a Zoom celebration afterwards. Thank you.
Truth is that I don't have any one specific favorite memory. It was all one big blur to me. I was one of those that was so focused on trying to get my work done that I can't say I had a specific memory, but I do have a specific experience that you wouldn't have thought I would have gotten out of this. For myself, I get really very anxious getting up and speaking in front of crowds. So one of my biggest fears coming into this was the idea of doing this capstone and having to get up in front of people. And this was before the whole COVID thing, right? So I knew I was gonna have to get up in front of a bunch of people, and I was just dreading that day. Little did I know that during the coursework, a lot of what we do is get up and present our work. So it actually gave me a lot of practice in getting in front of my class and just speaking over and over. And then also listening to other cohorts doing like their presentation. Just eventually you start to get a certain, let's just say after a while, you just get kind of used to it. But what really helped was the encouragement of my classmates. My classmates actually gave me a lot of positive reinforcement when I would get up and speak. They thought that I was very good at doing it. And it means a lot when your peers say that there's something about you that's really good. And even though I haven't gotten over my anxiety of speaking in front of big crowds, I definitely have gained a lot more confidence. I did not think that that was something that I was going to get out of this. I thought I was going to be just coding, learn. But little did I know that I've actually have gained a confidence in something that I was already good at. I just was able to overcome the anxiety, and it helped because of my peers. And another great experience working with my capstone team. I had a great group of guys that I worked with, and even when we had like little bumps, we were able to get through because our personalities were all willing to see what was going to benefit the whole group. So that's about it right there.
Memory at Codeup was when David showed us the Pokemon API, because I didn't know that.
I would say my favorite memory at Codeup would have to be the excitement and the experience we all went through with the Konami code, because everyone you got to see a little bit of everyone's personality kind of break through on that.
Favorite memory at Codeup was when Justin Wright showed us how to make his computer talk during his Promises lecture.
I'd honestly say just getting to work collaboratively with my classmates. Everyone was fantastic. Every day I look forward to coming in, when we were in there in person anyway, and just getting to be in that environment with such a great group of people.
My favorite memory was working on a special project with my friends and fellow students, Ted and Jasmine.
Memory would be learning JavaScript for the first time, being able to work with the JavaScript and alter like the document object model and the body object model for event handling, making things appear, making things disappear, just like the UX portion of the course.
It was every time something was going wrong and then finally went right. Just the satisfaction and feeling I got every time it was working like it should.
Favorite memory at Codeup was all the friends I've made and all the connections that I'm willing to keep throughout my career.
I guess at Codeup I enjoyed messing with the instructors and trolling them all the time.
My favorite memory was actually the movie project, with working with a couple of some good buddies of mine in the class. I think we clicked pretty well, and that was actually probably the most fun I had making a project was with those two.
My memory at Codeup, there's quite a few. I would probably say just I guess the little jokes that the teammates would share in between exercises, and honestly just making new friends. That's been an amazing facet of Codeup as a whole. But I guess on a more serious note, just the overall journey of growing technically and becoming a better developer. It's been an incredible journey. So.
Has to be working on the capstone final with Carlos and Cindy. I've learned so much just from the capstone itself, and I've improved so much over the span of like 2 weeks. It's insane.
From the moment we started to the final day, everything I had done or went through really solidified that I made the right decision. I enjoyed every step of the way, actually.
There's been a handful where you're just solving a very complex coding problem, and it's like that one last little puzzle piece goes right into place, everything works, and it's beautiful. One recently was making an AJAX post request to a Spring MVC controller. Once that worked, I might have shed a little tear, but I think it was close to my heart there.
I just really loved being around a group of people that loved technology and wanted to learn and were super enthusiastic about just becoming developers. It was a really cool experience.
Favorite memory at Codeup was working with all my classmates.
My favorite memory is probably figuring out how to use APIs.
the times I would get to class early when we were still on campus, and I would draw giraffes on the whiteboard. And a lot of people didn't know it was me.
Memory at Codeup was when we were in class. I feel like it's just a specific memory of just walking to class and then just being downtown and in that environment. I really miss it and I loved it so much.
Favorite memory was when I was like this close to having a meltdown. I was exhausted and discouraged, and I wasn't sure if I was going to graduate, and I just wasn't feeling good about anything. And I reached out to Vivian and kind of, it was just like, what do I do? How do I get past this? And she gave me a really great pep talk, and I felt so much better. And it was just, I look back and it makes me realize how much all the instructors really care about each student, and it was really great.
So I would say my favorite experience at Codeup would be the March Madness that we had.
I guess it'd be before we had to go mobile or remote, just learning in class, getting help from the instructors, working with my cohort mates to figure out problems, all that kind of stuff.
I actually, the instructors all care. You definitely get that. The Codeup does a great job of getting people that not only are great coders, but they care about teaching. But I really want to thank Vivian and Casey. Vivian and Casey, you guys are really gifted instructors. You're very highly technical. So it was awesome to come to you guys. And just when you talked to me, I was one of the ones that definitely, I felt I struggled a little bit more in the classroom. So those two people, those two instructors, I think are, let's just say Codeup is very lucky to have them. So thank you, Vivian. Thank you, Casey, not just for the one-on-one lectures, but just the one-on-one. There were a couple.
All the instructors and all the classmates for helping each other out, and especially my wife for coming through the course with me.
I would like to thank my family, as well as the instructors from Codeup, in particular, David, Vivian, and Casey, for helping us throughout the journey.
I would like to thank all of my loved ones, as it's only been through their support that I've been able to dedicate the time that I've needed to be successful in this program. So thank you all.
Well, I guess I definitely got to thank my family. They've been super supportive. Definitely the instructors at Codeup. They've all been incredible. And definitely the peers as well, my fellow students, cohort students. I've learned a lot from them, just as I have from the instructors, and I really appreciate all of them.
I would like to thank my mother and father for being supportive. I'd like to thank all the instructors. I would like to especially thank Trent and Casey for all the tutoring they helped me with after class. That was very helpful and beneficial.
I'd like to first thank my wife, Velvet, for being extremely supportive throughout the past 5 months. I'd like to thank my mom and my dad for their support as well. All the instructors at Codeup, thanks for your help, especially Casey and Vivian for y'all's wisdom and patience. Thanks to Parker for all the financial aid assistance that you had given me. And of course, to my Fortuna family, thank you all. And especially a giant thank you to my capstone teammates, Cindy and James. Hashtag we all Jordans.
Perfect. One of them's actually my classmate, Brian Purnell. I've worked with him a handful of times across a couple different projects, and it took some getting used to with his demeanor, but I noticed I coded a lot better whenever I was with him. So he didn't even mean to do this, but he always made me better every single time that I was with him, and that wasn't intentional on his part. It's just something I noticed, so I wanted to thank him for that. The other individual is Casey Friday, one of the instructors at Codeup. He's so smart, and he is able to take complex subjects and explain them in a digestible manner, and that speeds up learning. So thank you to Casey for that, because without him there, it would have taken me a lot longer to learn the subject material.
A lot of people definitely my husband, my family, extended family, my friends that were all really supportive, and of course the instructors that helped me out with anything I needed help with and got me to where I am today. So lots of people.
I'd like to thank all of the instructors.
I'd like to thank my lovely fiance, my parents for giving me support, and the instructors.
I'd like to thank my family. They've been taking care of my dog for a while now, and I'm sorry that she lives there basically now, but they've been really supportive, and I really couldn't have done it if they weren't there to help me.
Definitely the instructors, Vivian and Casey in particular, they've been such a help. I mean, such help. You can really tell they care about, the students, doing well, and really helped us a lot. I'd also like to thank my family for supporting me while I've basically been, hiding under a rock for 5 months doing this.
I'd like to thank Brant because even though he's not an instructor, he always hung back and helped all of us understand the curriculum, and he spent countless hours researching and helping us get the things that we needed.
First and foremost, my family, my fiance Joanna, for agreeing to tighten our budget and let me come to school, and my son Travis, and all the instructors at Codeup. And of course, can't forget my partners Mitchell Sandage and Taryn McKenzie and our Progeny Capstone. Big thanks to them.
I really would like to thank David, Vivian, and Casey. They really pushed me on my design side of everything when it comes to web development, and they really helped me get through the process of coding stuff and pseudo-coding stuff out, really enforcing my problem-solving skills.
My family and friends for all the support, especially my roommate because he helped a lot. All my cohort mates for helping me learn and asking me questions, and especially the Codeup staff from admissions and placement and stuff, or admissions all the way to placement. But especially the instructors. They've been real heroes, especially at the end here. I really appreciate all of them.
I want to thank my friends and my family that supported me through all this time.
I'd like to thank the administration staff, Haley, Sarah, and Parker, who made the whole application process really engaging and easy and streamlined, which was such a great contrast to many of the other schools and programs that I've been to. Obviously, I'd like to put a special emphasis on thanking the instructors that we've had throughout the entire course: David, Vivian, Casey, Trant. They were all fantastic. I'd like to give a special shout out in particular to Casey, who helped me a great deal throughout everything, throughout the whole course. You're fantastic. You're a great guy, and really thankful to have gotten a chance to learn from you. And definitely Vivian, who I'd like to tell you a little anecdote too. I used to refer to you as the class mom or the class aunt, because every time that I was feeling discouraged or down about what I was doing and my code and everything, and I went to you for help, you really were that positive, that positive energy where you say, I don't like this, I'm not, I don't really feel good about this, and you'd be like, you're doing so great. I mean, this is really beautiful. I mean, you're doing so well. I'm so proud of you, and that just really always lifted my spirits. So thank you very much for that, and good luck to you in the future, all of you, all the staff members and everything. It was a fantastic experience.
A big shout out to my parents for making this journey possible, as well as my best friend Auburn, and a special thank you to all the teachers for going above and beyond for us.
I would like to thank David Stevens, even though he wasn't here with us for the entirety of the class. The portion that he went over, I thought was very well taught, and that was the portion that I ended up enjoying the most out of the whole course.
I'd like to thank the entire Codeup staff for their support and help throughout this process, and giving us the opportunity to really expand our horizons. I'd also like to thank my family for being very supportive through this. It's been a real change.
I would like to thank my husband. We went through the class together, and I mean, he was very, very awesome the whole way through it. And I want to thank the instructors, especially Vivian. She's, I mean, been like a role model throughout this entire thing. Just seeing a female coder like being up there and just being so awesome. Yeah, I would like to also just thank Codeup altogether, because this was a very difficult time and very new to everybody, and the transition was amazing. And it was, yeah,